Good morning. This is Jaci-O in Corpus Christi, Texas. Usually do my videos at night, but today I was like, man, let me get this done before I get on the road. What did I just sign is the topic. And that's a good question. I hope you have the answer. This is just simply about the fact that you really need to read your paperwork. Okay. Make sure what you're committing to with your real estate agent. Make sure what you're committing to in your contracts, whether you're listing your home with an agent or submitting an offer to buy a home. There are a lot of moving parts, and there are, for example, buyers, agents are often encouraged, or they're actually told to get a buyer representation agreement with the buyer, which is true, because then you're saying that, yes, I am representing these people, and I'm going to help them through the transaction. And when I help them buy a home, the seller's agent will pay me, split the commission, their commission with me, to make the deal happen. Remember, when you list a home, at least in Texas, the commission paid is to the listing agent to market the home and find a buyer. If another agent brings a buyer, then we as listing agents will say, okay, I'll cooperate with you and I'll share my commission with you in order to get your buyer to buy this home. Okay. But what I've heard way too many times is that people sign a buyer's representation agreement and they don't realize that they've signed it for 6 months, a year, and they end up being very unhappy with their agent. And then they're locked into this contract. And so then you think, well, can I just cancel it? Can I just break up? Yes, you can. But technically, you are the client of the brokerage. So the broker can say, well, okay, you don't like Betty, but you can't leave. We're going to assign you one. You can't pick an agent that you want. So they say, you don't like Betty, but we'll give you Bob. Okay, since you don't want to work with Betty anymore, because the contract is with us, not with Betty. Okay, so when you sign a buyer's representation agreement, that contract is with the brokerage. So if you're dissatisfied with the agent that you initially started working with, you come across this great agent that your friend used or whatever, the contract basically binds you to that brokerage, and you cannot go work with somebody that you feel more comfortable with. So how do you work around this? What you do is you potentially don't sign a long-term buyer's representation agreement. What you can do is sign a buyer's representation agreement for each home that you see with that agent and the contracts that you have submitted with that agent. My clients are very loyal to me for the most part. I've had a couple flake out and get weird, but it was usually due to greed. Actually, it was due to greed. And so my approach is, look, you're free to go. Just let me know, because I know I have confidence in my ability to serve you and do a good job and protect you. And I know that no one else will do that. So I might be a little slow sometimes, especially if you're listing a property and you're not quite ready yet. So I'm not breathing down your back. Or if you ask me to list it too high, I might wait a minute, because I'm like, okay, we're not going to go anywhere fast on this. But once you're ready and reasonable and ready to go, I'm hustling. I'm protective. I'm honest. I know the market. And I'm going to advise you accordingly. And whatever you decide to do is your decision. So if it's not what I've advised you to do, I don't hold it against you. I'm just saying, like, for example, in this market, it's a very hot market. And a lot of people want to list a lot higher than maybe they could or should. But if you're going to do that, now's the time, right? So with that being said, be careful. Read your contracts. What does your buyer's rep say? What does I have to sneeze. That's embarrassing. What does your listing agreement say? Is it in this market? In almost any market, but in this market in particular, there's no reason why we need a more than 6-month listing agreement. Okay. And I tell my people, look, if it's not sold by then, we need to have a conversation. Something's not right here. And of course, once again, I always list the best I can. So I know that it's not because of my marketing that your house isn't selling, but if your house is overpriced or just not as glamorous or exciting as people think, it's going to take longer. So I can help you when you're buying a home. I can help you see past cosmetics and say, hey, look, get a better deal and put the cosmetics on after. And if you're listing, sorry, I got the sun in my eye. If you're listing a home, I can also help you get the house prepared before you put it on the market, right? Maybe we can put in some granite or flooring or get the paint done. That makes a big difference. People just can't see past things like I can, or maybe other people can. So, anyway, read your listing agreement, see how long the term is. Um, you know, be willing to pay your agent 6%. Be willing to pay them 6% if they're good. If you're hiring them and you have confidence in why you're hiring them, then it costs money. I mean, man, I spend a large chunk of change to get my professional pictures and video done. It's not cheap. And the effort, the things I go into, and the websites that I pay to advertise your listing, we can't do it for free. And if you want a good job, pay them. My analogy is, hey, girls will relate more than guys, but if you get something you want, like if you get, in my case, my hair highlighted the way I want, I'll pay a lot of money for it. I'm not cheap, but it's rare to find someone who's really going to do a good job. But when I find that person, I'm happy to pay them. So, appreciate what a good real estate agent has to offer. Do not sign anything without reading it, and know what to do when you have the paperwork, and know what to sign and know what to look for and ask for. Okay. Okay. Have a great day.